Every company I've onboarded has had different expectations for what I'm going to provide to their business. It might be, hey, can you help my office staff manage our customer database? And it might be more revenue focused and towards the technicians. Candidly, my role is kind of just what they want it to be. This account came to us in November of 2023. They're located on the East Coast. They are in the HVAC industry. They have about 10 to 11 technicians working for them now. They started with a couple less, but have grown as they've been using FieldPulse. They actually did transition off of another CRM, ServiceTitan to be specific. And a big thing that they were struggling with using that software is, most importantly, their support. They didn't feel like it was easy to get in contact with anyone for help or questions. This new owner is actually pretty new to the HVAC industry in general. He came in and purchased this company with no prior knowledge to HVAC, but had been a business owner in other industries before. So kind of my first step was making sure that not only did their office and owner staff know how to use the software, but more importantly, the guys out in the field managing that customer relationship as well. Typically, our onboarding calls last anywhere, depending on account size, 5 to 7 calls. It took about 10 to finally get the techs to even sit through a call with me, actually. I think they were just frustrated by the amount of switches that were made. It's definitely not a small task to switch an entire team of 10 or 11 guys who aren't necessarily the most tech savvy onto a new software. They were actually previously still doing paper invoicing. You know, it all got lost in email threads and stuff like that. So a really big thing that we wanted to implement, and what a lot of companies struggle with, is actually managing their customer database. Especially when you've been in business for a decade or longer, there's probably a lot in that database. So a big priority for me when we did their onboarding was showing them how easy it is to utilize the customer function within FieldPulse. Not only that, but having those invoices attached and related to those customers as well. So it took a long time, a lot longer than we would typically do onboarding. I definitely had a couple allies with their team internally to help me kind of push the process along. There was a lead technician who I worked with really closely alongside the owners and the office staff, that champion by my side who's open-minded and eager and really wants to utilize the software. His role was to nudge the technicians to use it. And because he leads that team, that was kind of a non-negotiable for him, is making sure his team was on it. So he was definitely a huge help. He managed just as much of that onboarding as I did. Part of what my role is to learn the ins and outs of how they do business, their day-to-day operations, how are they tracking costs. So a fun part of onboarding and managing this account for me was watching their revenue slowly but surely pick up and increase as they use the software. They've almost close to doubled their revenue, and a lot of that is due to their ability to not only track cost and profit margin, but more importantly, see the numbers of their revenue through reporting and all of that. Part of why I love my role is because I am customer facing. And so one thing that I look for in my customers is not only can we, have those serious conversations, a lot of them might be tough, they might be frustrating, but as long as you keep an open mind and you have the ability to laugh hard things off the same way I do, I think that's probably the biggest thing outside of, again, just the ability to do business but have fun with it.
Hello, FieldPulse.